be setting ahead of us. Oh, he's from Los Angeles.
And welcome back to the long-awaited return of the Let's Go podcast, episode number 29.
We're back.
We're back.
It's my fault.
It's no one's fault.
We're not pointing blame.
We've been getting ready. We've been training.
Working on this dad bod.
Working on that dad bod.
Yeah.
Kelly's a dad.
I'm a dad.
3 months ago, you were not a dad.
This is correct.
Now you are. It hasn't even been 3 months. It's been 2.5 months.
Actually, she was a month old yesterday.
Oh, wow.
So a little over a month and a week ago, I was not a dad.
You were not a dad. But I'm saying since our last episode.
Oh, well, yeah.
Yeah. But who cares about that?
Right. We're back.
We're back, and we're going to start it off strong with a very tasty beer.
Beers, all kinds of beers. Black, white, Puerto Rican, Chinese beers. Glug, 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 glug.
All right, Kelly, what is it that we have here? We have a tasty, tasty beverage ready to drink.
We
don't know if it's tasty yet.
We don't know if it's tasty, but it seems like it would be. We have the Stone 2016 collaboration, Farking Wheaton Wootstout. Has a Star Wars-like bottle. It says Greg Koch, Drew Curtis, and Wheaton are contributors to this.
Wheaton from Star Trek.
Yeah. I cannot vouch for the legitimacy of this beverage because it sat in a hot car before it was given to me. Uh-huh. Not that I'm complaining because it was given to me for free, courtesy of Stephen Bell. But it did sit in a hot car for a while, so I don't know if it may have spoiled, but it was sealed. I don't know. Who knows? It says drink fresh or at
hot beers.
Age at cellar temp, which it was definitely not cellar temp because for those of you who live in the Inland Empire, it's been 1.5 million degrees.
Yes.
So here we go. We're going to give this a whirl.
Live drinking.
Yeah, live drinking on the air.
Actual clinks.
Instant reaction. Go.
I like it. It's dark. It's heavy.
Definitely dark and heavy.
It's got a huge taste of... God, it tastes mapley.
This says contains pecans and wheat.
Maybe that's
wheat
it.
is a given, obviously,
Yeah.
but pecans, that's interesting. So anybody with a nut allergy, you're kind of SOL. Mm-hmm. I should have done a little more research and read the story here.
There's a story. Imagine a title crawl in your head.
Okay, so at Will Wheaton's insistence, there is wheat.
Okay.
Drew Curtis made the suggestion of adding pecans to the mix and partially aging the beer in bourbon barrels. So I can definitely get that now.
Yeah.
Now that I know, it's a very strong taste. Has a very strong. I don't know what you'd say. All these fancy words that wine people use. We're not fancy. We're not even really beer connoisseurs. We just drink it and we'll tell you we like it or not. I'm gonna give it a solid let's go.
Yeah.
It's a good bourbon barrel stout.
What does it mean
bottle.
when it's partially brewed? Like, would they take like half of it?
I believe it's like part of the just instead of leaving it in completely for the fermentation process or something, they age it in bourbon barrels part of the time and then age it some more without. I guess that would be my.
It's
my
really,
guess.
It's really good.
It's good. It's a solid. Let's go.
It's really heavy though.
If you're if you're in the mood for a good, nice, dark, heavy stout, I mean, you can't even see through this stuff. It's
you want to
delicious,
guess
though.
the percentage?
14.
Over.
What?
No, you're over.
I'm over. Oh, 10.9.
No.
11.
Nope.
72.
13.
84. Niner.
13. Wow.
13%. Well, that definitely
Yeah.
that bourbon barrel aged stuff, man. That's trouble.
Yeah.
You need one bottle. That's about it. Thank you, Stephen Bell. Let's go.
Yeah. Stephen Bell, you are a let's go in our hearts.
Anyways,
Cool.
quite delicious.
That was really good.
Yeah.
So if you'd like to really enjoy this show, maybe pick up
A Stone Wootstout.
Farking Wheaton.
Farking
Wootstout.
Wheaton.
Sip along while you hear our smooth voices.
Smooth.
Guide you on this journey of pop culture.
Yeah.
So
what have we've done
what
a
have
lot.
we done? There's been a lot that's kind of happened that we're just going to have to glance over some stuff.
Yeah, we'll have to catch up on the stuff that was a few months ago. We'll just breeze over it.
Yeah.
But
But I thought we could jump into some music first.
All right.
And so, significantly to us, I think there's been some records that come out that we might be more interested in. I don't know where everybody else is at musically. But I wanted to talk about first the new Blink 182 record. I think we talked about the single that came out the last time we recorded.
Yeah.
And since then, their whole album has come out.
Yeah.
And I kind of like to have some thoughts on that.
Some thoughts. I like it. If I had to rate it, I'm gonna say like a Let's Go and a half. It's good. It's not like, I don't think it's like an instant classic, but it's definitely cool getting into post Tom Blink realm. I love hearing Matt's voice. The songs are well written, poppy, catchy, the usual stuff. And then of course they have like the 10 or 15 second goof songs,
Yeah.
Overall, it's good. A good effort on their part, in my opinion. I had some friends who were kind of picking apart like certain aspects of it. Like, I figured, I think one of them said like, I figured the guitar work would be fancier, and I said, why? If you're trying to keep your integrity as a trio, why would you try and record something that's above and beyond what you can actually play live, and then your live set sounds all empty and hollow? So,
well, Blink would sometimes have a touring guitarist, wouldn't they?
I don't think so.
I thought they would.
I've never seen them with a fourth person. Green Day does.
Oh, maybe I'm thinking of Green Day.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Green Day tours with I forget his name, Jason something or other. I'm blanking on his last name.
Are you blinking on his last name?
Blinking. What's your overall rating here, Jason?
Man, I really listened to this record a lot because at first I was like, I'm just kind of over Blink. I actually thought their self-titled was like their best record they've ever done. And then Neighborhoods, I listened to it maybe twice. I couldn't even tell you what it sounds like.
Yeah,
but
I was not into that record by any means.
I thought now they did a really cool like social thing with it. Like they had listening parties in neighborhoods, like you can look up. I remember when it came out, but other than that, it was kind of a wash. But there's a lot of parts. It's funny. This record is called California, and I feel like much like the state of California, there's some places I want to go back to a lot, and there's some places I just want to skip on through. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I kind of feel like with this record. The new track, the like Bored to Death, I think it's a good song. It totally sounds like 4 other Blink songs put together, the bass line, that that type of stuff. That's a good strong. The song San Diego is good. The song Los Angeles was good.
All the city songs.
All the city songs are pretty good. The joke songs are kind of expected. Matt Skiba, though, I like his voice. I just don't think it doesn't contrast well enough with Mark Hoppus.
Right.
Like, say what you want about Tom DeLonge, like, at least his voice was distinct enough that it had a different sound. Because I couldn't distinguish sometimes when Skiba was singing and when Hoppus was singing, which Skiba has a distinct voice, but when you meld it with Hoppus, they're really like, they're low on the scale,
That would have been my one, I guess, technical critique from a production standpoint. I feel like the vocals were almost overproduced at a point. Very auto-tuney and things like that. So that would have been my one critique. I feel like on a lot of the Alkaline Trio records, Matt's voice definitely, it's not so, I guess I would say, saturated, so it doesn't sound, I don't know. Like you said, you can't distinguish between Mark and Matt's voice very well. I can hear it sometimes, but sometimes there is a tough distinction there. But on Alkaline Trio records, you can obviously tell his voice from Dan's, because I feel like they're not only two different types of voice, but just like the production wise, it's just not so like affected, I guess. So that's my only critique, is I feel like it could have been a little not underproduced, but like produced less than it is.
Yeah,
like,
no, I hear what you're saying.
Just kind of,
that's a punk rock record. You don't want it to be super slick, but the only other thing was just too much filler. There's some songs I'm like, if you've been away that long, you better come back hard. You know what I'm saying? Like,
well, they came back pretty strong, I feel like. But especially, they already had the cards stacked against them a little bit, because some of the fans were probably like, "Oh, no, Tom, forget this," But I mean, I definitely wasn't one of those people.
Yeah, I got you.
It was kind of nice hearing a voice.
It's a strong. I think it's a solid record, but I wouldn't place it above their self-titled. I'd probably. And I'm also different. Like when I was younger, I thought like Enema of the State was really good. Now listening to it again, I'm like, so much this is kind of a crap record. You know, to me, you know, like I think that, you know, Dude Ranch is a better record than
Everybody
Another
matures.
State. Yeah, everyone matures, but there's still like a sound. You know, they still have that Blink sound.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
you know, I don't know. I just give it a solid go. If you like Blink, you'll like this record. If you don't like Blink, maybe you're morbidly curious. I don't know.
Yeah.
If you don't like Tom DeLonge, you'll love it.
There you go.
What do you think?
Yeah, no, I think I gave it a let's go and a half. It's a good solid
wow.
a good solid record for me. I enjoyed listening to it. Like I said, my only critique was the overproduction a little bit on the vocal side of things, but I feel it was a fair outing.
Yeah.
Definitely in comparison to their last record, I wasn't a fan of Neighborhoods at all.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's where I'm at.
Cool.
But the better punk rock record that came out just a week ago,
Last week.
Descendants, hypercaffeinium spasonate or something
Yes.
basically talking about coffee, of course.
Yeah.
You know, Milo loves coffee.
Hey, there you go. It's a Descendants record.
Yeah, it is definitely just like, not saying just another Descendants record
Yeah.
because they haven't put out a record in like 12 years.
So Kelly made a good point because I think it's a good Descendants record. I just thought they had too many songs. But Kelly said what?
I said, well, when you've been gone away, you only get one every 12 years. You might as well, you know, give them everything you had.
Yeah. And I would say every song on this record is strong. They're strong, like melodic punk rock songs.
Yeah, and there's so many of them because some of them were like a minute and a half.
That's very true. I would say, say if you want to contrast it to the Blink record, like, I don't know how long ago the last Blink record was. Was it 6 years ago, whatever?
Yeah, I don't know.
Like, that's what I'm telling you. There's probably 5 songs that are really good on the Blink record, where this Descendants record, every song is good, and it's punchy, and it's like 1, 2, 3. It feels like a Descendants song.
It's a Descendants
every song.
record.
And so I shouldn't really complain. Like, there's like, 23 great songs on this record.
Yeah.
I was just kind
21,
of, I think I was getting wore out after a while. Like, man, and when's it going to end?
I'm going to give it a gotta go. I'm going to say gotta go.
I'm going to say it's a let's go.
Yeah.
Just because it's good, and it kind of keeps the, I don't know, just keeps the momentum for me. Like, it's good. I'm super happy with it. I'm going to put it in my rotation of listening. But it's just so hard for me to absorb all of it. Like, I can't pick out a favorite yet because there's just a lot of Descendants going on. And that's not a bad thing. That's a good thing.
It's just a whole lot of Descendants.
Whole lot of Descendants. And, as the weeks go by, I'll probably start pulling my favorite jams out of it. But that being said, really fun record. Descendants are always a win.
I agree.
We'll see in 10 years if it's a classic. But it was good. And then, do you have any other thoughts on Descendants?
No, it's a gotta go. It's a good solid
Gotta
record.
go. Okay.
I love Descendants, obviously.
I'm giving it a let's go. Kelly's giving it a gotta go.
I'd say you should check it out.
You definitely, yeah. Anyone out here listening to it, if you've never heard the Descendants,
there's something wrong with you.
there's something wrong with you, or maybe you just haven't been, introduced to
Good music.
good music, right? Good. Go skateboard. Go grab your skateboard. Go listen to some Go listen to some Descendants and have a good day.
Yes. And
And then finally, also was released was the new Bouncing Souls record.
yes, I have not. I got about halfway through absorbing that one. Initial response, it's going to be another Let's Go. I will say I was more of a fan of their previous record that came out, I believe, in 2012, 2013. I think it was called Comet. I'm a bigger fan of that than I am of the new stuff, but I mean, Bouncing Souls, like the Descendants, put out continuously good records. I haven't heard a Bouncing Souls record that I'm like, oh, this is a pile of poop. So, yeah, just a solid Let's Go rating. I haven't finished absorbing it, but if you're a punk rock and or Bouncing Souls fan, I would definitely recommend checking it out. What are your thoughts, Mr. Kowalski?
I gave it just a Let's Go. I think it's small enough that I was able to consume more of it. I thought it felt more like an album, where the Descendants record felt like, here's a song, here's a song, here's a song. I felt like the Bouncing Souls was a straight up like record.
I got you.
So for the Bouncing Souls Simplicity record, I give it a Let's Go.
All right.
All right. All right.
All right.
Any other music that you'd like to talk about, Kelly?
Oh, man. I'm a little underprepared, but I can tell you about a few records that I'm excited for.
Yeah, let us hear it, dude.
August, there's a new Butch Walker record coming out. It's called Stay Gold. Very excited for that. I've heard about 4 tracks off of that from... I'm really digging that they do about iTunes now. If you pre-order a record, they'll usually start giving you singles like a week or 2 at a time. They're like, here's another one. Hey, here's another one. So by the actual release date, you pretty much have the whole record, which is great, and it's fun. I like that. It's kind of rewarding. I think that's kind of what you need to do with music now to kind of stay relevant.
Yeah.
It was like, 5 years ago, I was telling people, anyone who's going to make music, they're like, oh man, we're going to record an album and then tour on it for like a year and a half. I said, no, that's a terrible idea. You should just start making EPs. 6-song EP, tour on every 6 months, record one every 6 months. That way you're staying in the forefront, staying relevant. You're always releasing material because people are going to forget about you unless you really,
connect with people.
Unless you really release a masterpiece of an album, you're gonna get buried in the noise, get buried in the static of the music industry right now, which is great because I love the independent spirit. But you just got to stay ahead of things. So that's why I'm actually like the what they're doing with the pre-orders. But anyways, Butch Walker, I believe it's August 26th or 28th.
And you're going to go see him.
I am going to go see him at the Constellation Room in Santa Ana.
Wow.
Which is inside the observatory, which used to be the Galaxy Theater, which I'm a huge fan of, except for their parking situation. We've gone through this many a time. But
go back to episode 7 of Let's Go Podcast and hear
I
Kelly's
saw that he was playing,
lines.
and that's such a cool venue. The Constellation Room is, 150 people max, and man, his shows have so much energy. It blows me away every time. So
for people who don't know,
yeah,
name a couple records that Butch Walker has worked on, because he's not just a singer-songwriter. He produces a lot of cool records too.
I honestly, at this point, I'd have to pull up the list.
Look it up, people. Look up Butch Walker.
Weezer, I know for a fact. I know it's not like cred, but he's written songs with Avril Lavigne, Pink, a lot of popular songs that you've heard he's had his hands in. So I can't think of any off the top of my head for many a reason. Sleep depravity and alcohol. But go to allmusic.com, type in his name, Butch Walker, and you'll see that he's been a busy guy. And he writes his own music as well, singer-songwriter stuff. It's always amazing. Even if you haven't heard him and you like music, go see him. I was telling Justin, I know Justin's heard some things. He's like, yeah, it's all right, whatever.
Yeah.
Go to the show.
Yeah, I don't doubt that he's talented. I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah.
It'll change your perspective on not only him, but just have more of an appreciation for his music because he's a talented guy.
If that Descendants record wasn't so long, maybe I'd have time. Maybe I'd have time to listen to some Butch Walker.
If he wasn't sorting through 21 songs of punk rock.
So, all right. So, moving on from some music, we're going to talk about some TV.
Ooh.
And there's a phenomenon going on, guys.
A big phenomenon.
Big phenomenon.
Stranger Things.
What is that? Oh my gosh! Just the song, just listening to the credits.
Yeah,
the opening title sequence is amazing.
Stranger Things is
that just came out. It came out of nowhere.
It did. Like I there was 2 days I was on social networking and a couple people were like, "Oh, dude, you should check out this show. Mm-hmm. Oh, you should check out this show." And then like more and more every day, it was like more people posting about it.
If you don't watch this show,
right,
you are not an American.
Yeah, it was like people making very, very bold declarative statements. So I was like, okay, well.
Do you even like yourself as a person?
So obviously we just had a kid. So my wife and I were like, okay, we got some spare time right now. We're on a little
Having
baby
a
break.
kid is a great time.
It is.
To binge watch shows.
So we did binge watch that, and we've watched a lot of HGTV. Giving us ideas for fixing houses and things. But Stranger Things, wow, just... instant gotta go. Everything about this show screams instant hit.
Yeah.
It borrows from so many great things and borrows in a classy way, not blatantly steals, but so many things from our childhood. Goonies, E.T.
Yeah.
It's
all
just,
the 80s movies that had flashlights in them.
It's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. It's a great, great show. Gotta go instantly. If you haven't even touched it, if you haven't watched it, please go. Do yourself a favor. I don't care if you stop the podcast. Go start watching.
Yeah, it's
amazing.
It's on Netflix, so I mean, you can only watch it if you have Netflix. So there you go. Get a subscription. Thank you, Netflix, for the cash money you guys put in our deposit.
Man.
Appreciate that. Get that Netflix money. What? Hair plugs. Just kidding.
Hair plugs.
Stranger Things, I would just say it's like a love letter to the 80s.
Yeah.
And I was reading an article about it, and it was like, why? The person was like, why the 80s? And the creators of the show, these two brothers, I don't know their names right now, but they were just saying,
a funny name. I can't remember. It's
they were just saying that the 80s is a perfect time to tell a story about adventure and kids because there's no cell phones, there's no the Duffer Brothers. That's what it is, Duffer Brothers. There's no like cords, nothing to hold these kids back. You can go ride your bike in the hills and you'll be gone forever, and it's like you have an adventure. Whereas now it would be hard to tell that story. Like, oh, I have you on Find My Friend, son. Where are you at? Oh, you're in the hills. What are you doing in the hills? Like, come back.
Yeah.
And so it sets up a perfect like scenario for this adventure these kids go on. And which, by the way, these kids were awesome actors. Usually, like it's probably hard to cast good kids to act.
Phenomenal.
And they
Everything
were really
about
good.
that.
They were believable. They had good chemistry. Like, the one boy, like the little chubby kid with the hat, he was the best, dude. He was like my favorite.
Missing his tooths.
Missing his tooths. I think his name was Dustin. He was great. He was the great kid.
The whole thing was amazing. The concept, the creativity behind the writing, the music, which was done by a Austin-based band called Survive. If you're looking to listen to their music, I know they have a new record coming out in September as well. And
if you look it up,
yeah,
FYI.
you gotta type all capital letters with spaces in between. So S.
I got a really bad hair metal
space.
band when I looked it up. Kelly's like, oh, the band Survive, and I was like, these guys.
I had to find them on Apple Music and then forward it to Justin. So he was like, this is not what I was finding.
Yeah.
So, check them out. Survive. If you really like the intro to Stranger Things, it's great instrumental music. There's no vocals, but it's definitely like something.
It's so cool.
It's something to play in the background while you're working, or
just exactly what I did last week.
While you're chilling out, man. I mean, I could picture that just being your sleepy time playlist. Not that it's boring.
It's not a mow the lawn playlist.
No,
but it is.
It's slower paced, relaxing music, but definitely worth a gander. But also.
It's good make out music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you got to hit Stranger Things. Gotta go.
I love the title sequence. I love the company that was behind that. Everything was like, again, it's like a love letter to the 1980s. Everything that's great about it. And
the setup for season 2 is already there.
Oh,
in the last
man.
episode.
I don't even know, man. I don't know where it's going to go.
I'm kind of pissed that we have to wait for so long. I don't know. I don't even know how long it's going to take, but I don't even think they've started production on season 2.
Oh, probably. My wife was all, what are they going to do? What are they going to? Man, I don't know. It could be a whole other show. It may not even involve these people, which I kind of hope it does.
It was like waiting for season 2 of Daredevil. This is going to be painful.
Oh man. Okay. So good transition. So Stranger Things is a freaking gotta go. Watch it. Watch it all tonight. It's only 8 episodes. You literally can do it in a day.
Yeah.
Take a day off of work. Say you're sick because what's really going on in August? A whole lot of nothing at work. Take a Tuesday off. It's more random.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, my stomach hurts. 8
I got
hours.
diarrhea. I got to stay at home.
Exactly. Watch Stranger Things. Enjoy a show.
You will not be sorry.
You will not be sorry. You'll be like, oh my gosh. So, and that little girl who plays 11, amazing. She's probably the best actor on the whole show. Worst actor, sorry, Winona Ryder. I love Winona Ryder. I am a Winona-ologist. Like, I like her. Like, I think she's beautiful. I think that, like, when I watch her in a movie, I always enjoy her. On this show, I was just like, why are you overacting?
Yeah, I mean,
I just felt like she was really trying to sell.
Imagine if
my kid's missing.
What if one of your kids was missing? How would you be?
I don't think my eyes would bug out of my head. Like, she doesn't blink the entire time. I just feel like she always has this same face.
She's been through a lot, and then she's hearing her kid's voice from some crazy place. Of course, you're gonna get crazy eyed.
I feel like she's like a meth addict or something. She's like, I thought she was crazy. That's what I was like. When are we gonna learn about her?
She's losing her mind. She's worried about her kid.
I get it. I just felt like, is there more to her story? Is there something going on with her? Like,
maybe, who knows?
Maybe there is. You know,
I thought there was like some kind of deep rooted secret with the sheriff and her, because he was like so passionate about finding this kid.
He knows her.
I was like, is this his kid? Like illegitimate kid, and they had like a fling back in the day.
He's all about her though. He's just like, what's up, Winona Ryder?
Yeah,
I saw Beetlejuice. That was
saw
good.
Beetlejuice.
You were cute in that. All right. So,
but anyways, we were
Stranger Things.
transitioning,
Oh, transitioning because you said Daredevil.
and you're thinking
and-
Defenders. Or
And I'm
Luke
going to talk
Cage.
about a little bit of Comic-Con was a couple weeks ago.
Right.
Whole bunch of stuff dropped out of Comic-Con.
Oh,
and I
like
know it happens
bombs.
every episode we tend to get in this like comic thing, but it happens. It's just part of the like social like zeitgeist right now. You know what
Which
I'm
is
saying?
great. Well, we have you, which is like the expert, and me,
I'm the
which is like
expert.
the complete layman.
Kelly is like you listeners like comics are stupid. I don't like
I
those.
don't say they're
I'm just kidding.
I never say they're stupid.
And then like me who's like I love comics. Like I read comic books this morning so for breakfast. But so Comic-Con came out and they announced a whole bunch of cool stuff. Like Kelly just said Defenders, which is like the
Hell's
culmination of everything happening in Hell's Kitchen and like the Marvel Netflix shows. They also did this freaking awesome trailer for Luke Cage with like
yeah.
ODB in the background.
Kitchen. Shimmy, shimmy, oh, shimmy.
Oh gosh, that was great. That was just basically like, hey, you like hallway fights?
We're gonna give you another
We're gonna
one.
hallway the fight out of your face in this show. That and then they had the little Iron Fist thing going on, and then Defenders, and then they also had a Daredevil season 3, just a promo. I don't know if you saw that.
Oh, I did not.
So it was awesome. It was like a subway, right? And it was like you hear all of a sudden you see these like subway lights like train 1, 2, and 3, and you hear like this doesn't sound really great. Like people, who's getting beat up? It's just me making some noises. And then like the lights go dim out on 1 and 2, and the 3 is still lit up, and then like a splotch of blood hits it, and it's like Daredevil season 3.
What?
But it's probably going to be after Defenders.
Yeah,
Defenders
well, of
is
course.
first. So it's Luke Cage, Iron Fist, and then Defenders, and then Jessica Jones and Punisher later on. So yeah, they did say Punisher show is coming out. So
Well, that'll be cool.
yeah, that'll be freaking rad. So
That was only because of such popular demand from Daredevil 2, right? They didn't
I think
have
so.
intentions to make
I bet
a-
you they did have an intentions, but they're like, how are people going to connect to this? Because they didn't say, oh, we got to make a Daredevil
we
show.
connected the balls out of that.
Yeah, dude, Daredevil, like Punisher was rad. I think
Yeah.
Punisher works great in a series because after a while, I mean, he's just gonna start blowing people away, and you can kind of take him away. Like you can only take so much Punisher.
He's going to punish all of you.
Oh, the bad guy. Hey, bad guy, are you doing some bad things? Da-da-da-da-da.
Say hi to your motherfucker.
Yeah, say hi to your mother for me. Oh, hey, dog. So, anyway, so that was cool. And then they also talked about a lot of the movies that are coming out, but they didn't really. Marvel didn't really release any footage online for all of their shows coming out. I mean, the next movies they released another trailer for Doctor Strange, which was cool. It was just like Inception on drugs, and then nothing about Spider-Man or Guardians of the Galaxy or Thor or anything like that.
No.
They kept it all inside Hall H. But DC, on the other hand,
They went crazy. Buck wild.
They went buck wild and released everything. They're like,
Wonder Woman.
Justice League trailer.
Justice
Well,
League.
it's actually a teaser.
Teaser.
Here you go. Wonder Woman. Crazy,
There you go.
awesome trailer. Here you go. And then they released like a final Suicide Squad trailer, which was kind of like a soundtrack trailer. And so they just went bananas. And I'm really excited. I liked the one, like Wonder Woman. You might think, oh, Wonder Woman, dude, it looks awesome, and I'm really excited for that movie.
Yeah.
And then Justice League, which was no one was expecting footage. They were expecting like the cast to show up, but the footage they put out was kind of cool. It was a little more light, a little more like fun,
Yeah.
not so dark. Batman vs Superman was super dark, and like we here on Let's Go enjoyed Batman vs Superman, and I watched the Ultimate Cut.
I still need to go. I need to come over
Next
and see
week.
the
I'm
Ultimate
actually going to
Cut.
do a screening of it. So if you want to come over,
Well, let's hope I
we'll
can do it.
Hope you can come over. Yeah, Ultimate Cut. By the way, a better like tale of the movie. If you hated the movie, it's not going to make you like it anymore. But if you like the movie and you wanted to have a little bit more explanations, it completely redefines like Superman's entire like motives in the whole movie, which is really good. Anyways, that's a whole other show, but I really enjoyed the Ultimate Cut for Batman vs Superman. But anyways, the Justice League movie looks to be a little more light in tone. It's got Flash, it's got Aquaman, it's got Cyborg and Wonder Woman, Batman, and Superman probably shows up at some time, even
Right.
though he died. Spoilers. But
Spoiler.
it just seemed really fun, and I'm excited for that movie. But
Speaking of fun,
speaking of fun, what did we do last night, Kelly?
we went and saw Suicide Squad.
We saw The Squad.
The Squad.
The Squad. Okay, Kelly, what are your thoughts?
Quick rating, I'm going to say let's go. It's definitely worth a view. Wasn't spectacular, wasn't terrible. More towards spectacular than terrible. Jeez, I am stuttering all over myself.
It's all right.
I'm just
It's
being
raw.
real here. I'm not even going to cut this out.
We're gonna just drop this tonight.
Drop it. Suicide Squad was awesome. I enjoyed the movie. Definitely worth a view. I was hearing mumblings of critics not liking it, or they liked the beginning but didn't like the end, which I can see. I can see their point of view, but I did not spoil the movie for me.
Yeah.
The end was a little... You get to that kind of far-fetchedness a little bit, and you're like, okay, whatever. But, it's a superhero movie, so what can you do? I think it was a great movie. Will Smith was, I think, definitely a stronger character in the movie. I think if it weren't for him, he kind of carried it, I feel like.
Yeah.
As Deadshot, he carried it quite a bit. Obviously, Margot Robbie, I think her name is, for Harley Quinn. She was
great.
a close second.
Yeah.
They both carried the movie pretty well. Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
I'd say go check it out. I'm going to turn it over to the comic book guy because I'm sure he's got
expert.
plenty to say.
Yeah, man. I walked out of this movie. I kind of stayed away from reviews. I really didn't watch a lot. I saw on Twitter, like, a lot of people are like, this is terrible. I'm like, are you kidding me? And it was kind of like a hurt for my heart because I really, really love, like, the DC universe and stuff like that. So I was like, man, right after Batman vs. Superman now, I feel like I haven't invested emotional ties to this movie. So after I walked out, I was like, I really like this movie. I didn't understand all of the criticism. Now, I had a few, like, minor, like, things with it, but it was more, like, here, we're over the spoiler wall. Spoilers here. So if you're listening and you haven't seen it, I'm going to spoil a little bit. Not so much, but, the end battle, very Ghostbusters, very Zool. Like Gozer and everything. Like, I had that type of a vibe going on with it, which is funny. That's what my wife said. And I was like, that's what I was thinking. We're married.
We love each other.
We love each other. So I kind of felt like that. But and the more I thought about it, it's a comic book movie. It's fun. It's big. It's loud. Not everything is going to be The Dark Knight. Like, The Dark Knight is a great movie, but I think it ruined everything that comes after it because everyone keeps comparing things. The Dark Knight was so good.
You got to
start
start over
serious.
again.
It was just this. It was like The Dark Knight was what it was. It was great. It's beautiful. It's a great movie. Go watch it again. But it's not everything can be that. And so Suicide Squad, what I think did well was it really set up the DC extended universe that they're doing on film. Like, you felt it got bigger just in that movie. Like, it was cool seeing the cameos of Batman, like, taking down, like, Deadshot and things like that. Sorry, spoilers. And then there was a surprise that I didn't even know was going to happen. Spoilers, cover your ears. Flash shows up for, like, maybe 4 seconds and stops Captain Boomerang, which Captain Boomerang is a Flash villain, so...
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Yeah, totally makes sense. So that was cool. Just the world got bigger. There was a lot of, like, conversations about, like, hey, what happens if Superman doesn't have our ideals? What happens if the next Superman is going to turn against us? And so, like, the government is aware of, like, what's going on with Superman, how he's dead. How do we stand up against the next, like, thing like this? And I really felt like, man, the world's getting bigger. I thought it was really cool about, just the way it expanded, like, the characters and who they are and the concern and, like, how's this gonna work for us in the future? And here's our fail safe. And what a cool idea. It's like the Dirty Dozen with supervillains. And anyway, so I really liked all that. I thought Will Smith was great. Jay Hernandez was great as Diablo. I didn't think he was going to have as much as a role as he did. And it was kind of cool that he was like restraining himself the whole time. And then finally he kind of let loose. And then it was like the video game boss battle at the end, which I didn't, again, okay. The villain wasn't very, I wasn't like really invested into the villain. It was like, oh, it's this lady and her brother and who cares? Like, I would have loved for it to have been a bigger name villain. Yeah, like Enchantress, okay, like we know who the Enchantress is, but it doesn't draw me. Like, if it was a bigger villain, like I can't think of someone right now, but it would have been a little more like, oh crap, they use this person?
Yeah.
Wow. I wish even if Lex Luthor popped up or something, like he was behind it, like just to show more of his side, that would have been cool. But in the end, it was fine. It set up the world. One of my favorite parts is, like, there is a little mid-credit scene afterwards, which I won't spoil that, Watch the movie. Don't leave. It's not. You don't have to wait till the very end. It's just right after.
They
Like,
went a little Marvel. That's all.
yeah,
I'll
they
say.
did a little bit of a Marvel. Like, hey, here's a little bit of Marvel, but it was good, and it didn't feel awkward, but it made you like, oh crap, it's starting to happen.
Yeah.
And so it was really cool. So I really like that. Man, I can go on and on and on and on, but I really like Suicide Squad. I'm giving it a gotta go because don't listen to critics. Sometimes you just gotta like something. I think if sometimes you just gotta go look at it yourself and see, do I like this? Because sometimes a critic is gonna have an expectation going in,
Right.
like this is what I want to see, like, and they may not be what they want to see. But I went in going like, hey, this is some comic book guys, and they're gonna do comic book things. It's gonna be silly. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be loud. It's gonna be big. I just want to eat some popcorn, maybe a couple red vines. Thanks, Kelly. Mm-hmm. Drink a Sprite.
Yeah.
And I enjoyed that movie a lot. I can't wait to talk about it some more with whoever wants to listen
And whoever wants to talk about
and
it.
whoever wants to talk about it, because I thought it was a good time. Now, breaking down some of the character, what did you think about Jared Leto as the Joker?
I think he was a good Joker.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I think he's a great actor. I saw some news story or something on Facebook or something that was like Will Smith's like, I don't like Jared Leto.
Yeah, but I think that was in jest. It was
Yeah,
kind
that's
of like
just like, I don't know. Well, either way, as Joker, I think he was good. Don't go in with the preconceived notion that you're going to get another Heath Ledger Joker.
yeah.
But definitely for the movie, he played it well.
Yeah. He wasn't a main character. He was kind of like a
Right.
He was more a part of Harley's story.
Yeah, he was kind of like a root on her tree.
Yeah,
you know. Like,
but I thought he was good.
Yeah, he was
he
great.
seemed crazy. There was times where I felt like he had a Heath Ledger-y voice, but then there's other times where he was really crazy. I'm like, I really like him. He was very gangster.
yeah,
The fun thing about the Joker is he has different interpretations, even as a character. Like, I hope the next time we see him, he looks different. Like, I hope he doesn't have tattoos. And the tattoos are kind of gangster, and I get, like, they're going through a different visual aesthetic, but it'd be cool if, like, the next time you see him, like,
Yeah.
he's got to show up in, like, the Batman movie.
visually, I love the movie as far as like colors they chose, the
Oh,
scheme
yeah.
they went, the soundtrack. I know you said you had one beef about the Spirit in the Sky song being used or whatever.
Oh, okay. I'm glad you said that. That took me out. That was the one thing that took me out of the movie, because I just started thinking Guardians of the Galaxy, because that was, like, a key part of that movie.
different universes, bro.
No, I know, but I was like they could have, because earlier in like the marketing of this film,
Yeah.
there was people saying like, oh, they're using like songs like Guardians did. So there was so many comparisons to like Guardians. Like, I would just avoid that. Well, don't add a really like gigantic
Right.
like comparison like right there. You could have used a different song besides Spirit in the Sky.
Yeah.
Like, I think Danger Zone by freaking Kenny Loggins would have been way better, because it would have been hilarious. Right? That would have been way more hilarious.
I would have cracked that.
Yeah. Now, there was a lot of songs in this movie too. There was a lot of like, it felt like
Good-
music
yeah.
video,
Good
music video. Some people didn't like that. I thought it worked kind of.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't really mind too much. I like when the music fits a character.
Yeah.
So David Ayer did a good job. I think if you haven't seen David Ayer movies, he did like Fury, which was the big one last year, and then he's written a lot of stuff. He was a part of Training Day. What was that movie he did with the two cops? He directed. It was really good. It was Jake Gyllenhaal and the dude from Ant-Man.
End of Watch?
End of Watch. That movie, that will break your heart. That was a
Yeah,
great movie.
That was sad as heck.
But he did that movie. So I think he's a great director. I think it was cool that he did this. I like that Warner Brothers has different directors doing movies. Like, hey, it's a director movie and not a like paint by numbers type of thing. But is really good. I know he's getting a lot of like flack on the internet for it, but I think he did a good job. I liked it. David Ayer, if you're listening, what's up?
He's behind you, bro.
Hey, you want to get on the show? Our people will contact you. We'll interview you and talk to you about stuff. So, again, Suicide Squad.
Gotta go.
Gotta go.
I'll say let's go. Justin says gotta go.
I say gotta go, man. Like, go. I want to watch it again. I want to go watch it in 3D IMAX.
yeah. It was that good.
I
I
don't
would
like
definitely
3D.
I would definitely watch it again.
Yeah.
Just to kind of maybe pick up on things that you might have missed. I always
Yeah.
like watching movies twice anyway.
Yeah, there was one part I did miss a little bit in the middle, because like my wife was saying something. I was like, "Dang it, don't talk to me at the movies."
Right?
Yeah, it was in the beginning scene where like Amanda Waller was like briefing them. And I was like, oh, wait, what did she say? Oh, man. Because there was some stuff I noticed in the trailers that they didn't have in the movie. There was a part where El Diablo was like, I'll take water, like when they're in the bar, and he didn't do that in the movie. So, anyways, Suicide Squad. Man, that was a good movie.
Yep.
Like,
I think right now we can transfer over to probably our worst possible movie rating that we've gotten, that we're going to give thus far.
I think so.
So Suicide Squad.
Man, we really should have. You know,
great.
we should have ended on a high note and ended with Suicide Squad.
Well,
but it just transitioned so well with our conversation.
Transfer into a turd nugget of a movie. Justin and I actually, I sucked it up and tried. I put aside all.
We did it for you guys.
Yeah, for you, of course.
For you.
I put aside all my preconceived notions, and we went and saw Ghostbusters. And
more like Ghostbusters.
Yeah. I'm going to put it somewhere between Don't Ever Go and Don't Go.
Wow.
Like, I did not enjoy it. Like, the only thing I enjoyed was Chris Hemsworth had some pretty funny lines. Mm-hmm. Like, that was a little bit of comic relief.
Yeah.
And it would be cool to kind of put the CG that we have now into the old Ghostbusters, but I don't want to George Lucas it.
Yeah.
But, yeah, just everybody in that movie was a one-trick pony playing their one trick, and it was just not what I wanted to see.
Wow.
I did not enjoy it.
Kelly, you know what? I was going to give it a go, because I didn't want to say never go, but I can't think of like a good in-between between go and don't go, you know? Maybe we need a...
Yeah, I mean, if it's on, don't change the channel, maybe.
Well, and here,
if you're itching to see it.
Here's the thing. For man, and this has nothing to do with the Ghostbusters all being females.
Right.
I could care less about that.
Exactly.
Like, that's what some of the people online are like, it's a bunch of girls, it's heresy. Like, I don't care about that.
Right.
My issues with it was the original Ghostbusters movie, all those characters were real.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? All these characters felt like cartoons. Like, they felt like caricatures. And
it was the one-trick ponies playing their one trick.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Like, Melissa McCarthy, she usually gives me anxiety if I've ever seen her. Like,
right.
You can ask Burgundy. Like, one time I had to get up and leave because I was going... I don't know what it was. We watched some movie with... I don't know. I think it was Jason Bateman or something she was in a movie with. And I couldn't watch it. I was like, I can't do this. But she didn't annoy me in this movie. But Leslie Jones drives me insane. Like, even on Saturday Night Live, she does the same thing.
Right.
The same thing. And I'm like, and she was driving me crazy. Kristen Wiig, who I actually like, was driving me crazy. I thought that, oh gosh, what's her name?
Kate McKinnon.
Kate McKinnon, I liked her. I thought she was cool because she didn't talk a whole lot.
Right.
So there wasn't enough I didn't like her because she didn't talk a lot. I liked her because I liked her character. I kind of liked how her little nuances. I thought she was funny. Yeah. And I thought Chris Hemsworth was funny. But Chris Hemsworth wasn't a character. He was a cartoon.
Right.
Like, because I was talking to somebody this week about it, and they were like, well, what about freaking Lewis? I'm like, yeah, but Lewis he was really, like, unaware of who he was socially. But there's people that are like him, unfortunately. There is somebody like Lewis in your life. And if you don't know who it is, it's probably you. You are Lewis, right? But he was just dumb. It was like, how would this guy even exist in our world? Like, you would be like, dude, seriously? Like, how did you not die today? You know?
Right.
That being said, his scenes were really funny. Like, his dance scene at the end was really funny. I heard they cut it out for some reason, like they couldn't get the rights to a song. Because it kind of never explained, like, why did all the police and the army guys start pointing in the air? Like, are they going to dance? Like, you kept waiting for, like, that scene to play out.
I bet you they were going to try and do Thriller or something.
Yeah, that's exactly. It was like, that would have been hilarious. But the whole plot and stuff, I mean, if it's a reboot or a remake, I don't know, man. Like, it just seemed so similar to, like, what already happened. It was kind of like, do something different, or I would have rather them had it be an extension of the Ghostbusters universe. Make her like Egon's like niece or daughter or something. Tie it in. There was no reason not to tie it in. I think that would have made it better for me. At least tether it somehow, because now it just kind of, it feels like it wasted an attempt at establishing the Ghostbusters universe and making it bigger. You know, Ghostbusters 2 was kind of weak. Like, let's be honest.
the more
It's a go.
the more I watch it, it grows on me.
Yeah.
Because I bought the
Out of nostalgia,
dual
probably.
pack or whatever on.
It's got that cool
iTunes.
Bobby Brown song.
Yeah. And he's in the movie. His
And-
cameo.
Oh, I forgot about that. That's right.
He asked for a proton pack for his brother.
There you go.
Proton packs are not a toy.
But it doesn't hit that magic of that old one, and it's not even nostalgia. It's
Yeah.
like it just doesn't work.
Yeah, the end of Ghostbusters 2 is totally cheesy. I like
Yeah.
the way they're on the painting and stuff. That come on, you could have just left that alone. Like that's why I like the original, because it didn't leave it on a cheesy note. It was like, okay, yeah, they saved the day.
Yeah.
It wasn't like,
Yeah, but here's the thing: when they
Overly
saved the day, it
cheese.
was a big deal. It was like the parade. You kind of felt like you were living in New York, and it was
Right,
like a
right.
big deal. Like when they saved the day at
Celebration.
this thing, there was nothing, dude.
Yeah.
It was kind of like
lame.
it was like a sitcom.
Yeah.
It didn't feel. I know they're fighting ghosts, but it felt the original one felt real. And if you're gonna, they've kind of established what it is. This world, kind of real, even though it's ghosts and all that stuff. This just felt like, oh, it's a slapstick comedy. It's
Yeah.
Bridesmaids too. They just fight ghosts, you know.
Yeah.
And I just didn't enjoy it as much.
Yeah.
I had an okay time.
Yeah.
I wasn't like, I was never bored.
Oh yeah, I wasn't putting my hands in my head yet.
Yeah.
But it was just after I've absorbed it, I'm just like, I didn't enjoy it.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe Don't Ever Go is a little extreme, but I'm gonna say don't go. Like, don't waste your money going to theater.
Yeah.
It's almost like just wait till it's on TV, and then if you really got time on your hands, watch it.
Yeah.
But it's not worth like seeking it out, especially if you're an original Ghostbusters fan.
Yeah.
I do have. There was one friend of ours that I know. He loves Ghostbusters, the original.
Yeah.
And he actually liked it.
Who is this person? Let's put him on blast right now.
DeLon, I believe DeLon.
Oh, DeLon.
He told me he liked the. He told me he liked the movie.
Harold Anderson.
Harold DeLon.
If you're
Anderson.
listening,
HDA.
you are no longer to hang out with us in public.
No,
That's right.
I'd be
And-
interested to have a more of a dialogue with him about it, but yeah, it wasn't what I wanted it to be.
Yeah. Now there were scenes that I thought were cool. I liked the scenes in the heavy metal concert. I
Yeah.
thought that was cool. I thought that was a good like scene. The main villain, I could care less about him, like that guy.
Yeah.
Now when he turned into the ghost, I thought that was kind of cool. The one thing that I didn't understand was like in previous Ghostbusters movies, to capture a ghost, you have to put him in a trap.
Right.
Now in this movie, they had to put a ghost in the trap a few times, and then all of a sudden at the end, they didn't need to do traps anymore. They can just blast them away with their weapons.
Right.
Which I kind of liked. I kind of liked the handgun weapon and their grenade weapons. Those were cool, but they didn't really explain like how the science worked.
Right.
Like just explain to me the rule.
Right. You
Like-
knew on the original Ghostbusters, ghost went in a trap. Done.
Yeah. I get it.
Had to go in a trap.
Yep.
Had to go in the ecto containment.
Yeah, the
unit.
containment unit.
Yeah, I get it. There's definitely a lot of holes. There was
Yeah.
a lot of holes.
Yeah. But I was happy to see Ernie Hudson.
Yeah.
Bill Murray's cameo sucked, I thought.
Yeah.
He
I
had
wasn't
no
a fan.
magic, dude.
Dan Aykroyd's was
Dan Aykroyd's is
equally-
weird. He was
equally
just
terrible.
there. Like, you would have think this guy's been pining for a Ghostbusters 3.
Right.
And you would have think he would have had a better role in the movie, or at least a better cameo, and his was just kind of,
Yeah.
But Bill Murray's was the one that like kind of broke my heart. I was like, it felt like he just kind of showed up.
Yeah.
And then he died.
Phoned it in.
It would have been better. Like the rumor was Ghostbusters 3 was going to be the original team, except Peter Venkman was going to be a ghost.
Right.
That would have been cool. So, you want to cut for a second?
You can hear the baby.
There's a
crying in
baby.
the background.
This is real life right here.
Yeah, real life.
And that's 100% cuteness here.
She is pretty cute.
All right. So that being said, Kelly,
Putting a big bow on it. I'm still gonna say don't go.
don't go.
but-
I'm going to say go. Keep an open mind. You may enjoy it. We have a lot of just Ghostbusters fandom in our hearts.
Yeah.
And I think we're purists in that sense. And so we want to be fair to anyone else. You know, it's still out there in the theaters. We're a little late on it, but we've been busy. But check it out. Make
Yeah.
your own calls.
Yeah.
Let us know what you thought about it.
Yeah.
You can do that. Anything else, Mr. Kelly?
Shout out to a new Inland Empire donut shop. I will say gotta go
Oh.
to Linda's Donuts off of Pierce.
Linda's Donuts.
It's Cinnamon Toast Crunch donut. It's got the donut with the cereal on the top.
Kelly is making a donut gesture with his hand.
I'm making a donut in my hand.
It looks like he's conjuring up some type of
They
magic.
also have maple bacon donut. Anyways, holler.
That's good.
Linda's Donuts on Pierce. Gotta go if
Gotta
you like
go.
donuts.
I haven't gone, so I can't say anything.
Nope, Justin can't rate it. But
I'll try.
that was my one quick thing that I think the only place that I've eaten that's new that I would definitely give a rating to.
Sounds good. All right, so one thing I want to say:
Yes.
if you'd like to help the show,
Yes.
pad the show, put a little green in the pockets of the show, so we can do some things. We have a Patreon site, so if you can go to patreon.com/letsgocast, you can donate to the show and say, hey, I want to give you guys $1 or $5 a month to help us produce the show because, hosting the show sometimes costs money, right?
Yeah.
And we really, our heart is to make some t-shirts and stuff very soon.
And you get some swag.
Some swag. So swag only happens when there's money in the bag.
Yeah.
Put some swag in the bag.
Swag
So
bag.
if you can visit our Patreon site, that would be great. Otherwise, hit us up on all our social media outlets. Let's Go Cast on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.com/Let's Go Cast. You can email us at Gmail, letsgocast@gmail.com, or visit the website at www.letsgocast.com. My name is Justin.
My name is Kelly.
We'll see you soon.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Let the dinosaurs and these